Hello everyone. This presentation will overview my suggested learning process for our class. As with most classes, students will usually do some reading to gain an understanding of the terminology, definitions, concepts, etc. In accounting classes, additionally, students also will apply their new knowledge to problems. And eventually, there are some assessments to determine how well you have learned the material. Note that your primary resource for learning the material is your textbook, and that what counts actually towards your final grade are the assessments in my lab, the reading checks, the homeworks, and exams. In my classes specifically, I do offer you more resources than you need and that you have time for, most likely. So I do highly recommend that you explore these resources to figure out which ones are a better fit for how you learn best. In between your reading of the textbook and the assessments, you can choose any number of resources to supplement your reading or in learning to solve the problems. This slide shows you the various resources under each category of reading, problem solving, and assessments. Aside from your textbook, you can refer to my lecture notes in my chapter modules or to external resources on the web. For problem solving, you can study the textbook examples and exhibits. Additionally, you can study how the textbook's static problems were solved by reviewing the related answer keys that I posted in my modules. We will come back to the notion of static versus similar problems in a second. Other problem-solving resources are the videos in my lecture notes that actually come from the publisher's MyLab. I just simply package them differently, embedding them in a single location for your convenience. And finally, you can also refer to external resources such as YouTube videos that relate to the problem or the type of problem you're trying to learn to solve. Now back to static versus similar problems. Probably the best and most efficient way to learn problem solving is to study the static problems against the answer keys that I placed in the modules, as I mentioned above. The static problems are static because they are the ones printed in the back of the chapter. And obviously, that given information for each problem does not change. The answer keys relate to these static problems. Your homework items in my lab, the ones that will earn you your homework scores, are based on similar problems. Basically, they are the same problem as the static ones with different numbers. They change each time for each student. My assumption is that if you study how the static problems are solved by reading the given info for the problem in the textbook and then reviewing the related answer key in the modules, you will learn how to solve the similar problem in my lab. Notice that in my lab, as you complete the homework, you have other available tools that will help you learn or relearn how to solve the problem. I find the demo docs, and especially the Help Me Solve This, to be excellent resources. Remember that you have unlimited attempts and time for both the reading checks and the homeworks in my lab. Finally, at the end of the day, you decide how much more reading and practice you complete and what resources you will use to learn the material. Obviously, the discussion threads are also essential in this whole learning process. So I hope that you use the discussions to engage with your co-learners and with me. To do so, you must ask lots of questions and comment on your classmates' postings. Good luck!